Good morning, peace and blessings. This is Deanna Cliff coming to you from Whole Life Healing Guidance. This morning I decided to, redo a video or improve on a video that I did a few weeks ago. And what I chose to do today was to make a tea that is very helpful when it comes to nasal congestion, upper respiratory congestion, lower respiratory congestion. And the reason I chose to redo this video is because I've been dealing with these issues myself, especially with the seasons changing. I've been dealing with just all types of allergy symptoms, itchy, watery eyes, like I said, all types of congestion in my nasal passage, runny nose, sneezing, the works. So I know for me, it's very aggravating, it's very irritating, it's very frustrating to have to deal with these symptoms. So this morning, I decided to get up and treat myself to a healing and comforting tea. So before I start the tea, there's a few things that I want to let you guys know. There's a few things that you need to keep in mind before you decide to begin to make your own loose leaf herbal tea at home. And why I stress the word loose leaf is because most of the herbal teas that you get in the grocery store are processed in some sort of fashion. If they're powdered, that means that once they're ground, they're losing a lot of their medicine. They're losing a lot of the essential oils once they're ground. Essential herbs are have oils that are that evaporate in the air. They evaporate pretty much on contact, depending on the temperature, depending on the humidity. So once the manufacturers begin to ground the herbs, immediately the herbs begin to lose their medicine. So the reason I'm stressing loose leaf tea is because when I purchase loose leaf tea, it is or herbs, it is usually packaged like this. And the reason that it's packaged like this is so that it is not exposed to sunlight, which reduces the medicinal benefit, and so it is also not exposed to air, which reduces the medicinal benefit. So when I make teas for myself and my family, my packages, the packages that I receive either in the mail or if I'm going out to buy a product, it looks like this. Secondly, when it comes to preparing an herbal tea for medicinal purposes at home, it's very important to understand what the effect is that you want to get out of the tea. Once you decide what the effect is that you want to get out of the tea, for me, it's like I said, I want to loosen up a lot of this mucus that I have in my nasal passage. I want to reduce I want to kind of have an antihistamine effect so that I reduce the amount of sneezing that I'm experiencing. I want to have a soothing effect to my mucous membranes, which will coat my throat to protect against a lot of that irritation that you get from postnasal drip. So once you decide what it is that you want to get out of the tea, then you can begin to choose the herbs that are appropriate for the blend that you want to make. So this morning for me, I'm going to be using my primary herb. And the primary herb is the herb that you're going to use the most of, or the highest volume in the blend. So this morning I'm going to be making a 32-ounce jar of herbal tea that I will be able to sip on all day. And 32 ounces will give you 4 cups of herbal tea, which is safe for the herbs that I'm using. So today I'm going to be using elderberry, which is one of my favorite herbs to use when it comes to respiratory distress, whether it be nasal, upper respiratory, lower respiratory, nasal congestion. Elderberry is full of antioxidants. It provides protection against viruses. It provides protection against the flu, the common cold. It boosts your immune system. So elderberry is going to be this is going to be my primary herb. And then the other herbs I'll be using in a smaller dose. The second herb that I chose to use for this blend is marshmallow root. And I chose to use marshmallow root because this is the herb that's going to give me that soothing effect. It's going to soothe my nasal passage. It's going to provide some soothing to a soothing effect to my throat for the post nasal drip that I'm experiencing. And it's also because it has a direct impact on our mucous membranes, which the mucous membranes are throughout our nose, throughout our throat, in our eyes. It's all of those areas of our body that produce some type of mucus or some type of liquid. So we want to make sure that our mucous membranes in our body are really healthy. It's also going to provide some relief for the itchy, watery eyes, believe it or not. And so this herb is very important to this blend. Lastly, I'm going to be using eucalyptus leaf. And I chose to use eucalyptus leaf because it is going to just open up my nasal passage. Anyone who's ever smelled anything that has eucalyptus in it, it's similar to peppermint, where it just opens up your pores. It opens up your nasal passage. Also, this eucalyptus is going to provide protection for my immune system. It's going to boost my immune system. So that's very important to me. If it were nighttime and I just could not sleep because my nose is stuffy, I can't breathe, one of the herbs that I would add to this blend would be lemon balm. Lemon balm is one of my favorite herbs for relaxation, for sleep, for stress, anything. It supports any type of situation where you just need to kind of calm down and relax and ease yourself from any type of discomfort. So lemon balm is definitely an herb that I would add to this blend if it were nighttime. Lastly, when it comes to making teas, I have these press and brew tea bags. I'm not going to use the press and brew tea bag today because I'll explain it later. We have these press and brew tea bags, and basically with these press and brew tea bags, you just tear it apart. There's a little opening, if I can get to it. There's a little opening, and you would put your tea right in there. And then most women, I can't say most, but some women that I know have these. You just purchase a separate set of these from like your local drugstore, your local Walmart, Target. And you turn this on, you heat this up, and then you use this little device to close together your tea bag. Today I'm not going to use this, but when it comes to making your own herbal tea at home, this is very useful. Comes in handy. Okay, so we're off of the herbs. Now I'm going to get into the other items that I need to bring this tea together to make this tea. So one of the main things that I'm going to use is a stainless steel pot. And the reason a stainless steel pot, you can use a stainless steel pot or you can use a glass pot. I don't have a glass pot, so I'm using this one. But if you're going to use some type of metal pot, you want to make sure that it is stainless steel, because stainless steel is non-reactive. And what that means is that it's not going to produce a toxic reaction with herbs. Although herbs are natural, they are also chemical. They are natural chemicals. They are chemicals that were created by our Creator to support our body, to bring our body into balance, and they are natural chemicals. So if you were to use, for example, an aluminum pot, there could be a chemical reaction between the aluminum and the chemicals in the herbs that could produce a toxic effect. So whenever you are actually steeping tea in a pot, you want to make sure that you use either a stainless steel pot or a glass pot. I can't stress that enough. If you were to just be boiling water, and then you were just going to use one of these press and brew tea bags and drop it in there, then you can use whatever type of pot you see fit. Excuse me. And then you could just pour it over the tea bag in the water. Secondly, for this blend, normally I would use cheesecloth, but I'm out of it for today, so I'm just going to use one of these little plastic strainers. And the other thing, like I said, I have my jar, which I will probably transfer because I'm going out to my son's game. I'm probably going to transfer this into my little handy dandy stainless steel bottle just so I can sip on it all day. I have a teaspoon. I have some agave as a sweetener. I have a lime, and I'm thinking I'll probably use this whole half of lime, and some bottled water. I prefer spring water. I don't have to worry about the unnatural chemicals in spring water. Spring water, you're going to get some of those natural minerals that come from the spring. And I'm just not interested in having chlorine in my water or any of that other junk. So I'm going to get started, and hopefully I can go through this pretty quickly. You guys probably can't see it, but I'm working in my dining room, so I have my little individual eye that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to turn it all the way up to high. I'm going to measure out, like I said, for this. Let me back up. If you are making 1 cup, just 1 cup of tea, you just want a single serving. The ratio is 1 teaspoon of a single herb or combined herbs. That means if you're using 3 different herbs, altogether those 3 different herbs should only total 1 teaspoon. So that's 1 teaspoon of an herb or herbs together to 1 cup of water. And typically you would boil that 1 cup of water and pour it over the herbs that you have in your press and brew tea bags, and that would give you a single serving of tea. But like I said, for me, I'm going to be out today. I want to stay warm. I want to sip this tea all day because I'm trying to knock this gunk out. So I'm going to start by measuring out my water in my glass. Okay, got my 32 ounces, which is 4 cups. Pour it in there. I'm going to get that water boiling. Okay. Right, got that done. Now after that, like I said, I'm going to begin to use my herbs. This herb is not, I can say it's really not packaged correctly. Excuse me. I should have brought this home and put it in one of those little small mason jars and kept it in the dark. But I use it so frequently that I just didn't, I didn't get around to it. Okay, so this is our elderberry. I don't know if you can see the little berries. Let's measure and see how much of this elderberry we have. Hopefully a teaspoon. Yep, we got a teaspoon of elderberry. Got that. just going to drop it right in the pot. Like I said, a stainless steel non-reactive pot. So that's 1 teaspoon, which will cover 1 cup of this blend. And I thought actually I had more, so I guess eucalyptus will be my primary herb in this. And then I'm going to use 2 teaspoons, 1 of eucalyptus. 2 teaspoons of eucalyptus. And lastly, like I said, my organic marshmallow root, which is going to be soothing to my mucous membranes in the back of my throat and my nasal passage, my eyes. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of this herb, which this herb looks kind of funny. My kids are like, oh, is that what marshmallow's made of? No. Okay. So I get a lot of questions about where do I purchase herbs. In some cities, I know you guys have like Whole Foods, or not Whole Foods, your natural food store. Locally, we have a store by the name of Lori's Natural Foods. If I need something in a rush, I will definitely go to Lori's and grab an ounce of an herb just to have on hand until the herbs that I order online come in the mail. The websites that I prefer to order from, I order from my school, which is the American College of Healthcare Science. Most of their herbs they grow themselves, and they're then sold to the students. These herbs are certified organic herbs, which is really important to me because I want to make sure that I'm not, I'm not trying to treat myself with additional pesticides or herbicides or things like that. The other website that I order from is Mountain Rose Herbs, where you can buy herbs in bulk. So if you have a group of friends or family members that you know that would be interested in purchasing herbs, it's good to buy them in bulk. They're not expensive at all. Some people think, if I buy these herbs, it's going to be expensive. They're not expensive at all. The most expensive thing is shipping and handling. So if you go in, if you have a group of people that are interested in buying bulk, that makes sense financially because then you can split the cost of the shipping and handling. The other way that you guys can order herbs is you can contact me directly. A lot of these herbs I have on hand. Currently, right now, I have about 65 different herbs on hand. And then also you can contact me directly for preparations or training with preparations. For me, it's very important to reach out to the community. Although whole life healing is my business, it is also my purpose and my passion to teach others how to heal themselves. So this is not just a financial endeavor. To me, it's personal. I've used herbs, I've used holistic medicines in healing myself from fibromyalgia, sarcoidosis, dealing with depression and anxiety and all of these other things. So it's important to me to use the information and the knowledge that I have to support others in becoming well. Am I one of those people who will knock someone who chooses to use a pharmaceutical drug? No. I will not knock an individual because at some point I was there. However, I would say that there is an alternative to that. I knock pharmaceutical companies for making money or making illness a business instead of making wellness a service. And so that is my goal, is to make wellness a service, to promote self-care within our community, to promote to help individuals understand that there are some ways in which they can take their health and their wellness in their own hands, and they don't have to be dependent on these other forms of medicine that are not healthy for them. Some of the resources that you can go to just to find out what herbs you can use for different things. One resource that I use online is called Herb Wisdom, and I hear my tea boiling, and I'm going to get a plate to put over that to keep or not a plate, but a top. And the reason I'm putting a top over that is to keep all of the essential oils, like I talked about earlier, all of the essential oils, I want to keep them in the water. So you definitely want to make sure you put a top over your herbs whenever you're steeping them or whenever you're boiling them. I'm going to turn this down to medium because I really don't need to have it on high. Herb Wisdom is a resource that I use online. You can look up different herbs by name. You can just search different types of symptoms, such as cough, such as cold. There we go. That sounded good. Headache, pain. It's just a great resource for someone who's just getting started and interested in making the use of herbal medicine a part of their everyday lifestyle. So I'm going to let this steep for a few more minutes. While I let that steep, I'm going to talk to you about whole life healing. Whole life healing is something that came, or it's not something. It is my love. It is my passion. It is my belief. It is my lifestyle. And this came about the idea behind whole life healing came about several years ago when I became really sick. Sarcoidosis had taken over my body, attacked my lungs, attacked my eyes. From having to deal with the sarcoid and being treated for the sarcoid with immune suppressants, I then developed fibromyalgia. I was on 3 immune suppressants at one time, and my body just began to shut down. It just could not support itself. Chills. I felt sick all the time. I could barely stand. I could barely walk. I could barely stay awake. Low energy. My cognitive ability was just decreased, and at that point I was really frustrated and I was really fed up, and I knew that the medications that I was taking at the time really weren't helping. And so at that time I just sat down with myself, with God, and I just prayed, and I'm like, I need an alternative. I cannot do this. I couldn't take care of my kids. I couldn't cook. I couldn't clean. I couldn't do anything. So it's been a long time coming, but at that point, I decided to take my health into my own hands. I trusted the doctors. I did everything that they said. I took the 23 plus medications throughout the day, and I wasn't feeling any better. I wasn't being any more productive or healthy or anything like that. So I decided it wasn't for me. From that point, I decided to just research holistic medicine, and I started to make little changes. It started with just drinking chamomile tea every night before bed. It started with just using peppermint oil and not peppermint oil, frankincense and lemon and lavender oil combination at night just to help me go to sleep. I started off really, really small, really simple things that were really affordable but also very effective. And through that, I just decided to learn more about what I needed to do, or in which ways that I could take to really empower myself to become more healthy. So whole life healing, the whole idea or the whole mission behind whole life healing is self-care. It is really understanding that our bodies were made to heal themselves. And if our organs, if our cells, if all the systems in our body are in balance, and if we consume foods, and if we consume herbs, and if we consume liquids that bring our body into balance, that our bodies will take care of everything else. So whole life healing really is my attempt to share with you, my friends, my family, strangers, the information that I've learned to really promote my own wellness, promote my own healing, support myself, take care of myself, take care of my family. And it's made a world of difference in my life, just for all of those who've known me, all of my kids' teachers, all of my friends, all of my families, all of my fellow, fibromyalgia sufferers. Most of you have watched me come a long way, and I'm very, very grateful for this. I'm very, very grateful for this this way of life that was given to us from the beginning. This way of taking care of ourselves. Animals have this innate instinct to choose herbs, choose foods that are healing, and we also have that instinct if we really focus our minds to opening up and imagining something outside of everything that we've been taught. We've been taught the Tylenol, the Robitussin, we've been taught the ibuprofen, we've been taught the Sudafed and the NyQuil, but if we really take a moment to open our eyes outside and look outside of the things that we've been taught and ask ourselves, is there something more? Is there something else? Is there something better? Is there something healthier? Is there something more effective? And for me, that answer is yes. So if you are interested in getting more information, you can contact me, Deanna Cliff, at Whole Life Healing, WHOLELYFEHEALING @gmail.com. You can also contact me on Facebook. There's a Whole Life Healing Guidance webpage on Facebook, or you can contact me, Herstress Deana Cliff, on Facebook. So now that we've given these herbs, typically I would allow these herbs to steep maybe 15 to 20 minutes, but I'm kind of short on time. Got to get to this football game. So I'm going to go ahead and, you guys probably can't see, I'll strain it and then I'll show you what it looks like. After I strain it, I'm going to add my agave, which is just a natural sweetener. I'm going to add my lime juice, which just adds extra vitamin C to increase immunity and provide more antioxidants, which is always good when you're trying to get healthy. Perfect. Great. That looks good. Some of the herbs are still in the pot, but as you can see, the strainer strains out all of the herbs. I'm left with this. If you want to make this an iced tea, you can just do 50% hot water, and you can steep your herbs in that half a cup of hot water, and then just add a half a cup of ice. Or you can just let it cool, let the tea cool, and then add a half a cup of ice. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of agave. Maybe a tablespoon and a half of agave. A serving size is a tablespoon, so I'll probably add, even though this is 4 servings, I'll probably, there we go. And then, I don't know if you guys can see it. Probably not. Okay. My lemon juice, I'm just going to use a fork. Fork it. I mean my lime juice, sorry. Work it right in there. Mix it up. And then I'll just transfer this to, we'll transfer probably a little more, probably a third of this to my stainless steel cup to keep along with me, and that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions, like I said, any concerns, I'm open to having that conversation with you. Like I said, you can contact me at wholelifehealing at gmail.com, Herstress Deana-Renee on Facebook, or on my Whole Life Healing page on Facebook. I hope you guys have a great day. Hopefully some of you can use this, whether it be for your kids or for yourself. That's one thing that I did not touch on, is dosing for children. This preparation can be used for, I would say, anyone 12 years or older. If you want to know about specific dosing for children, feel free to contact me directly. Hope you all have a blessed day, and just keep watching. Thanks. Bye.